So hi guys, it's Tamara Hill here. I wanted to share a couple of things with you regarding borderline personality disorder. I actually just got out of a session, and one of my clients had expressed a need to understand why they do what they do. And I thought it was interesting that she was very open and honest about some of the things that she's noticed in her peer group. And so I want to talk about that and broach that topic with you, because I think borderline personality disorder is a disorder that a lot of people are perplexed by. One of the reasons they're perplexed is because it doesn't make sense. It also interferes with multiple relationships. So it's not something that is just going to happen once or twice and the person moves on. It's something that's going to happen multiple times throughout that relationship. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the main categories. Now, I by no means is a therapist who studies borderline personality disorder. That is not my area of expertise. However, I have worked a lot with adolescents who are suicidal and who self-harm, who are traumatized, who are depressed, anxious, who have been abused and neglected, or who are dealing with severe mental illness like bipolar disorder and schizophrenia and psychosis. So I have dealt with adolescents who have those things and display a lot of symptoms of BPD or borderline personality disorder. So, and I have also worked with some adults, as I work with some young adults in the college age range. So I do want to talk a little bit about that today. Just a few symptoms and categories that I think is important. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first category for somebody who's dealing with borderline personality disorder is interpersonal relationships. Interpersonal relationships are always muddy, they are murky, they're dramatic, they're overwhelming, they're often high-strung in the relationship, the person who has BPD. They're often jealous or envious of other people or afraid that someone's going to take their partner in that relationship. They're also pretty unstable as far as emotions and thinking patterns. Paranoia is also something in the interpersonal category that's very common. So the individual is afraid that, their spouse is going to cheat on them, something like that. The other category is impulsivity. So a lot of words and behaviors are impulsive. There's no thinking pattern. There's no trying to understand the other person's point of view. There's just an automatic impulse to do something or say something. Insecurity is big, so not having an identity, not knowing who they are, not knowing, who they are within that relationship, and severely and desperately needing an identity. You've got suicidal thoughts most of the time, or self-injurious behaviors that also interfere with relationships. And the final category of the spectrum of borderline personality symptoms, I believe, would be the mood piece, the dysphoria. So there's that constant depression, there's that constant self-deprecating thought pattern that happens every time that person is depressed, every time they're paranoid. So there's a lot of negative self-talk. I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not strong enough. So all of those things are important to keep in mind when you're dealing with someone with borderline personality disorder. So stay tuned for my video next week, which I'm going to talk a little bit about these things in a little bit more depth for you. And I also want to answer your questions. I've gotten a lot of questions so far, so I'm going to be back with a video that answers all of those questions. But in the meantime, guys, I wish you well, and I will see you soon.